Ukraine's foreign minister asks Germany for more military aid after Russian forces hit Kharkiv and advance in the east.
The EU and NATO announce a joint task force to bolster European infrastructure security.
Prince Harry's autobiography Spare has become the fastest-selling non-fiction book ever in the UK, breaking national sales records on the first day of publication.
And a year after going on mute, the Golden Globes has returned to its glitzy Hollywood state, with The Fabelmans and The Banshees of Inisherin winning big.
Russian shelling hit Ukraine's northeastern city of Kharkiv on Tuesday evening, just hours after the surprise visit of Germany's foreign minister Annalena Baerbock. She praised resistance in the city, while her Ukrainian counterpart Dmytro Kuleba called for more military aid.
Kharkiv is a reflection of all the horror of this brutal war led by Russia, but also the courage, the capacity to resist, and the hope of Ukraine to live in peace.
Kuleba said the longer it takes to make the decision, the more people will die, because of the lack of necessary tanks in our army. Russia's Wagner mercenary group has claimed full control of the Ukrainian town of Soledar, which, if confirmed, would mark Moscow's first major battlefield success since last summer. Ukraine's president is calling for more equipment and fast. The free world has everything necessary to stop Russian aggression, Zelensky said, and bring the terrorist state to a historic defeat. And it's important not only for us, it's important for global democracy, for all those who value freedom. It's even more important now when Russia is gathering forces for another escalation. Zelensky also revealed that he has revoked Ukrainian citizenship of 4 political figures, including Viktor Medvedchuk, once seen as Russian leader Vladimir Putin's top ally in Kiev.
NATO and the EU have announced a joint task force aimed at bolstering the protection of critical infrastructure in the face of threats from Russia. The announcement was made at the EU Commission College seminar in Brussels.
We have seen the sabotage of Nord Stream that has shown that we need to be ready and that we need to confront this new type of threat. So today we are launching an EU-NATO task force for resilient critical infrastructure.
4 large gas leaks were discovered on Nord Stream's 2 pipelines off the Danish island of Bornholm at the end of September. Following this incident, NATO has bolstered its naval deployments in the region.
Our partnership, the partnership between the European Union and NATO, is more important than ever because Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine has fundamentally changed our security.
As well as pooling expertise on critical infrastructure security, the 2 organisations, which share 21 members, have also signed a cooperation pledge to take their partnership to what was described as the next level.
Prince Harry's autobiography Spare has become the fastest-selling non-fiction book ever in the UK, recording figures of 400,000 copies across hardback, ebook and audio formats on its first day of publication. Queues of people patiently stood outside bookshops and convenience stores across London at midnight Tuesday, waiting to get their hands on the controversial memoir. Publishing house Transworld Penguin says more copies of the book were sold on the first day than those starring the UK's other beloved Harry Potter, that is. After days of bombshell leaks and an accidental publication in Spain, the book is being sold at half of its recommended retail price in some UK stores. Further afield in Europe, there has been mixed reactions, but many say they are looking forward to learning about the Duke's life from the Duke himself. Industry experts predict Spare will be one of the best-selling pre-order titles of the past decade.
6 people have been stabbed at the busy Gare du Nord station in Paris Wednesday morning with what police describe as a threatening weapon. The attacker was shot by officers, arrested and then taken for emergency treatment. A border police officer was stabbed in the back but was saved thanks to his bulletproof vest. Another victim is severely injured and is currently in hospital. The other 5 sustained light injuries. It's not clear what the motive was, but police say they're treating the incident as attempted murder and not as a terrorist attack.
Lithuania has launched an information campaign to better prepare its citizens for emergency situations. Concert halls and dance studios at this art school in Vilnius are usually brimming with students, but in the event of an emergency, these halls will transform into shelters.
As a building of collective safety, we can receive about 2,000 people for the short term. As a building of serious protection or shelter, we can receive around 180 to 200 people.
But preparing shelters is not enough to keep people safe. Just half of Lithuanians say they would know how to react in emergency situations. The country's interior ministry says the data is worrying.
Half of Lithuania's residents know how to behave in case of emergency situations. But if we go deeper, only 9% of residents know exactly how to behave, while 41% think that they know.
A survey commissioned by the government shows that only 18% of residents possess an emergency bag, and only 15% have discussed their family's disaster plan with their relatives. According to the Interior Minister, civil safety has been neglected, while threats to the country have increased.
The COVID-19 pandemic, illegal migration, Russia's war against Ukraine, the unpredictability of our neighbour Belarus and the Astrovets nuclear power plant near Vilnius. These are the challenges we have faced, one after the other.
In response, the ministry has modernised the website, warning systems and looked to better signpost emergency shelters. Lithuania is keeping a close eye on possible threats posed by the Astrovets nuclear plant in nearby Belarus, a close ally of Russia.
A police operation is underway to remove protesters from a village in western Germany. The authorities have started building a fence around Lützerath, telling the activists to leave. Around 1,000 climate protesters have been occupying the village for more than 2 years, over plans to expand a nearby massive open-cast mine to extract the coal beneath. The activists say this is against Germany's international commitments to reduce emissions of planet-warming greenhouse gases. Germany is still very dependent on coal, especially given the reduction in the Russian gas supply. Energy producer RWE says it needs to extract more coal to fill its supply contracts, which run until 2030. That's the year when Germany will stop mining coal.
Mr. Spielberg, step right up here. We have the Fableman!
The American director's autobiographical tale has claimed one of the top prizes at the Golden Globes, which returned to screens around the world after years of ethical, finance and diversity scandals. Also taking the gong for Best Director, Steven Spielberg says he's been hiding from this story since he was 17 years old. The Fablemans tells the mostly true tale of his own childhood, an introduction to filmmaking in post-war America. And triumph for Cate Blanchett. She won Best Actress in a drama film for playing an intense composer-conductor in Tar.
The Banshees of Inisherin!
The Irish tragic comedy walked away with the night's most statues, bagging a total of 3 awards, with Best Motion Picture Comedy, Colin Farrell taking out Best Actor in a Comedy, and Best Motion Picture Screenplay.
That wouldn't be a sin, though, would it, Father?
No, but it's not very nice either, is it?
A night that further emphasises that the Best Picture Oscar race will be between The Fabelmans and The Banshees of Inisherin.